The Leafs have gotten 4 points since their 6-3 win over the Ducks. Unfortunately, we haven't won any games since then either. But I guess losing for points is better than pointlessly losing. Welcome to the penalty box. In HD! That's right, I got a new HD camera. What now? Let's get on with the games. Leafs lose 4-3 in overtime to the Dallas Stars. Now, Leafs controlled the game for the majority of this one. Gustafsson looked great once again. Nikolai Kulemin got 2 goals. Lee Stempniak got a goal on the power play. And Ian White also scored. Unfortunately, it was for the other team. Of course, no fault to Ian White. It's just one of those unlucky bounces that sometimes happens in a hockey game. Brad Richards scored the first goal off Ian White midway through the second, but Nikolai Kulemin tied it up 1-1 with 3 minutes left in the period. Just under 2 minutes into the third, Brad Richards makes it 2-1, one-timing a shot past Gustafsson. Lee Stempniak responds on the power play to tie it up. Kulemin scores the go-ahead goal, his second of the game, midway through the third period, but Ribeiro evens it up late in the third, leading to overtime. At 2:57 into the extra session, James Neal crashes the net, firing in the rebound off Stefan Robida's shot, ending the game 4-3. This was a game where the Leafs were good, but not quite good enough. This team is really coming together, but not getting lucky when they need to. On to the next one. Leafs lose 3-2 to the Buffalo Sabres in overtime. This game was a heartbreaker because the Leafs did everything right. They played hungry and they really outplayed the Sabres, especially in the third, but Miller just stood on his head. Drew Stafford opened the scoring with 5 minutes left in the first period, once again denying the Leafs the first goal of the game. Ian White scores with just a minute left in the first period to tie it up. Ian White continues to amaze me. I certainly didn't predict this at the beginning of the season, but right now I'd say he's even better than Caberlet. Although Caberlet has also played extremely well over this road trip. Midway through the second, Tim Connolly broke in on net and scored stick side on Gustafsson. In the third, the Leafs came out firing, outshot the Sabres 16-5, but could not get anything past Miller. In the final minute, with the Leafs short-handed, Toronto pulls Gustafsson for the extra attacker. Mikhail Grabowski deflects a Thomas Caberlet shot just under the crossbar, and the Leafs score with 37 seconds left in the game. But unfortunately, the Leafs' OT woes continue as Tim Connolly scores the OT winner just over a minute into overtime. Not much to say about this one. The Leafs were the better team, but Miller stole the game. Halloween night, the Leafs lose another close one to the Montreal Convicts, 5-4 in the shootout. Commissaric made his return to Montreal and played well. Yes, he was a -3, but he did a very good job of getting under his old team's skin and drew a big penalty after crushing Metropolitan. And the fans of Montreal must really miss him. They were hoping for him to get a goal all night long. Every time he touched the puck, they'd shout, "Boo!" Ponikarovsky opened the scoring shortly after the start of the second, knocking in a rebound off Thomas Caberlet's shot, and for the first time this season, the Leafs got the first goal of the game. The joy that the Leafs fans were feeling from that goal was short-lived, however, as Glenn Metropolitan replied 1 minute and 15 seconds later with the weirdest goal I've ever seen. Metropolitan shot it from the goal line, and it deflected in off the crook of Toskala's elbow. This is one of those unlucky bounces that the Leafs have been suffering from all season long. The Convicts end up taking the lead as Latendresse scores 12 minutes and 24 seconds into the second period, and former Leaf Hal Gill scores shortly after, but after scoring gets into a fight, being the first player I've seen to have a goal and a penalty in the same play. Stempniak shortens the lead to 1, scoring on the power play that results from Gill's penalty goal, with just under 5 minutes remaining in the second period. With 9 minutes 50 seconds left in the third, Roman Hamrlik scores, giving Montreal another 2-goal lead. With 5 minutes left in the game, Montreal fans start their "na na hey hey goodbye" chant, but Ponikarovsky shuts them up with a goal, his second of the game, after being set up by Ian White, shortening that lead to 1. With 1 minute remaining in the game, Ron Wilson does the same thing he did in Buffalo and pulls Toskala for the extra attacker. And for the second game in a row, it pays off, as Thomas Caberlet's shot deflects off of Yaroslav Spacek's skate and in. For once, OT solves nothing, and the game goes to a shootout. Camilleri and Gomez both score in the shootout, and neither Lee Stempniak nor Thomas Caberlet can, so the Leafs fall to the Canadiens. Toskala had a great game after returning from injury. Caberlet had 4 points on the night. Ponikarovsky had 2 goals. The penalty kill looked good. The Leafs scored the first goal of the game. All this, and the Leafs still lose as Toskala continues to struggle in the shootout. The thing is, if not for the shootout, if you had another 5-minute OT period, or if you had a 20-minute OT period, the Leafs would have won that game. And I'm not going to blame Toskala for all this. He played great all game, aside from that little hiccup in the second. And the Leafs have a competition on their hands for the #1 netminder. But this is the reason I hate the shootout. It's not real hockey. The shootout is to the NHL what the slam dunk competition is to the NBA. It's awesome to watch, it's exciting, the players can pull off some beautiful moves, but its place is in the All-Star weekend and nowhere else. It would be ridiculous to suggest having slam dunk competitions decide games in the NBA. But aside from that, the good news out of those games is that the Leafs were finally playing like a team that would be helped by the return of Phil Kessel. Now that the defensive issues have been sorted out, the Leafs look like they need just a little more oomph in the offense, an oomph that Phil Kessel would certainly provide. Which brings us to Tuesday night's game.